This is our third doubles lesson in the three-part series on pre-match preparation. If you missed parts 1 and 2, we're going to link to them below. They were about your team's strategy, things that you should really be going over with your doubles partner before each match, and then scouting the opponents. This is super important for creating a game plan before each match. Now I want to tie in the warm-up, and this is going to be really integrated into these two. It's really, you want to center your warm-up around what you learn from these two conversations with your doubles partner. So I'll start with ground strokes. All of this is going to try to simulate what you think is going to actually happen in the match. So when you're hitting ground strokes with your partner, and we'll go ahead and remove the two opponents, and let's assume you're warming up with your doubles partner one-on-one. So I want you to think about the ground strokes you're going to be hitting in the match. So based on your team strategy and your scouting, you should have a game plan for what types of matchups you're trying to create. So it might be the case that I'm going to run a lot of I formation from the ad side and then have my net player move left. So I'm going to end up in a lot of down the line rallies from the deuce court. So during my warm up, I want to hit some down the line rallies from the deuce court, work on hitting my forehand and working the ball around to the opponent's backhand, hitting the ball low through the middle to try to get this net player to maybe stab at a backhand volley, for example. Or if you're going to be running Australian formation from the ad court, then you might need to work on your down the line rallying from the ad court, for example. But if you're going to play mostly regular formation, then you should work on your cross court ground strokes as well, especially from your return side. Obviously, if you're warming up with your doubles partner, you're going to have to do both sides because they'll be returning from the opposite side. But think about what types of ground strokes you're going to be hitting in the match so that you can warm those up. For volleys, I do like to go one up, one back down the line, but cross court can be really important as well, especially if you're the type of player who serves in volleys or returns in volleys. If that's part of your game plan, if the opponent has a weak second serve that you want to hit solid cross court and come in behind to apply pressure, you should really work on that. Have your partner hit a weak serve and then you practice hitting that return cross court, coming in for some volleys. And before you even get to serves and returns, practicing your volleys cross court, and then practicing your ground strokes cross court against a player who's volleying, working on getting the ball low, working on maybe your lobs every now and then, working the ball through the middle will really help you a lot once you get into the match and you're at the baseline and the opponents are at the net. So that's something really important to work on, especially if you know from the scouting that your opponents are going to be moving forward a lot. So again, with both of these, we're trying to simulate real match situations. For serves and returns, you want to really, again, think about the different formations you're going to be using on your serve. So if I am going to be using a lot of I formation on my first serve in the ad court, then I'm going to warm up my serves from over here closer to the center service mark. Now on second serves, I might run more regular formation, so I'll step out here for my second serve. The same thing's true, of course, of the deuce court. And then for returns, you want to see if you can simulate what the opponents are going to give you. So if one of the opponents has a really good slice serve in the deuce court, then you should practice hitting that against your partners so that they can practice their deuce court return on that slice. You know, maybe they want to practice some down the line lobs from the deuce court off of that serve. Whatever it might be, see if you can try your best to kind of simulate what's going to happen in that scenario. Another thing you can do if you have the time to get into a little bit of point play is you can actually play points out based on the formations you're going to use. So I talked with Neil Skupski about this recently, who made or who I spoke with at the Dallas Open, and he won Wimbledon last year. And he talked about playing points out with his partner where he'll call I formation. So let's say this is me serving to the deuce court. I'll tell my partner, I'm going to go I formation. My net player is going to go right. And what I'm going to do is serve to my partner. They're going to return down the line, and then I'm going to shift over here, and we're just going to play the point down the line. Doubles alleys are good. we're going to make a line right through the middle of the court that's going to be out. So I'm working on winning this down the line matchup, maybe trying to get to the net, whatever we determine is the best game plan based on our opponents. If you're going to be playing a lot of regular formation, obviously you can do the same thing cross court during your warm up. If you're going to practice your serve and volley, return and volley, that's important as well. So again, all of this kind of ties back to your overall team strategy as well as scouting the specific opponent. So you want to really find ways to simulate what you think is going to happen in the match during your warm-up, depending on how much time you have. So hopefully this all kind of helped you think about how to change your own pre-match preparation and improve upon it so that you come out of the gates a little bit stronger and have an edge over your opponents early in the match. If you have any questions on any of this, leave them in the comments below, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson.